Hello everyone, I hope you are well. We are here today for one special video, which is not a conventional video from my side, because in general it's more something where I'm driving, but today, due to the actuality of the crazy lap of Kevin ESTRE into the GT3 RS MR, I wanted to make something special. One comparison between the GT2 RS MR and the GT3 RS MR. So let's talk, for the rest of the video, let's talk of 3 RS or 2 RS. Then it's just save some time to not say it's GT3 RS Mante Racing or GT2 RS Mante Racing. 3 RS or 2 RS. Let's make a quick introduction. Here I just have the pictures of both cars, my GT2 RS MR and the GT3 RS MR. We are in my Tesla now for the supercharger, so we have time to speak about it. Now I just want to talk about the price package for these two cars. We will not talk about the aero disc on the wheel or the magnesium wheel from Mante Racing. Just let's say that both cars have the Weisac magnesium wheel. So then just talk about the aero package and the chassis package. So if we look on the GT3 RS first, it's 39,911 euro for the full package. So not including the disc and the wheel, and 64,911 euros for the GT2 RS MR package. Both package is nearly the same. We have the same suspension, we have exactly the same work on the wing, we have the same aero stuff on the front. We can see here the aero curtains, which just guide the air out of the car. So it's aero downforce, it's downforce helping for the front of the car. The suspension, of course, of both cars is the same. It's the Mante Racing 4-way rear, 3-way front with a lift system if needed. But on the GT2 it's a bit different because the car is more heavy, so of course it's a little bit let's say different spring rate for the GT2. Also, so the GT2 have two more things. So the flick on the front also is different. It's only one flick on the GT3 RS and we have double flick on the GT2. With the GT2 we have one carbon on the body floor under the car on the front, but we do not have it on the GT3 RS. So it's a little bit more downforce on the front for the GT2, and also we have a bigger diffuser. We can see here, when on the GT3 RS is nearly the same diffuser than stock. So again, 39,911 euro for this package for the GT3 RS, 64,911 euros for the GT2 RS. Okay. Also, on the GT2 we have the water tank on the front, which is the water tank from Mante Racing, which is a bigger water tank compared to the 5 liters, even 4 liters of the factory. So here we have almost 10 liters extra. So this is helpful for track day to refill the water at the same time of the fuel, because if not, we just need to refill water every 3 laps of the Nurbugring, so it's not good. So we not have, of course, this water tank on the GT3 RS. So what we will do, we will just make a comparison. We will check the video of the Kevin ESTRE lap in the GT3 RS MR and into the 2 RS MR with LARS KERN, the lap in 6 minutes 40 seconds. Let's say it's we will check this way. Just before to make the comparison on these two laps, just it's good to have, just making pause. Just we can talk quickly about the driver. So here Kevin ESTRE, here LARS KERN. Both drivers are just amazing, incredible, very fast. It's just anyway different class of driver, because if we just look at the FIA classification, Kevin ESTRE is platinum driver, so which is someone who just is in the same category of the F1 driver. You know, he has won Le Mans, he has won a lot of racing, so he has the platinum certification. And LARS is silver classification. So you have platinum, you have gold classification, silver and bronze. So silver means that you have less victory, less experience on the racing than platinum, of course, or even compared to gold. But it doesn't mean that you are not good. It's just different in terms of experience, but it's also different in terms of maybe full attack, you know. So we all know, yeah, of course, Kevin is a bit faster than LARS, but man, if Kevin did 6:49 into the GT3 RS, I think LARS can do maybe 2.0 or 2.5 seconds slower on a 20 kilometers track, which is really small difference. So let's say that on this track, both of these drivers, it's just amazing. And maybe LARS also with a little bit different, let's say, style of driving. It's a little bit more adapted for the GT2 RS when Kevin is really full attack. He loves the grass, as Misha says. So of course it's yeah, a little bit different. So we will have here the 6-minute 40 lap record in the 2 RS. So the fastest production modified car, and the Kevin ESTRE in the 6-minute 49 laps into the 3 RS. What we will check is just make a simple analyze. First, we will just go into the Schwendenkreuz sector, because you will see what I would like to show you is that the difference between both cars is not that much. We will just first make a stop at Schwendenkreuz on this, first of all, the top speed. So we have here something like, yeah, 271 kilometers top speed on Schwendenkreuz, and we have here a minimum speed of 240 kilometers, which is totally insane. It's I mean, you can find, you can see some GT3 racing driver would not reach that speed during racing with slick, etc. It's just show how the aero package of the MR, the Monte racing car, is so insane. So it's I have no words. Now, if we look at the GT2 RS, we have a top speed, of course, a little bit more higher, of course, 280, 90, 91, 92. So we've seen 292 kilometers top speed versus 271. So let's say it's around 20 kilometers faster, but we have the corner, and so both cars has almost the same aero, has exactly the same braking system, brake pads, etc. So how can we say that? Of course, it's a little bit different. It's complicated to. It's really a challenge to reach one height minimum speed into the corner with the GT2 RS, because you arrive so fast, you know. Again, it's a big difference of speed, and also the car is a little bit more heavy. So as you can see, it's 212 kilometers for the minimum speed versus 240. So of course it's a huge difference, but that means that the GT2 is faster on the top speed, but it's very hard. If you brake at the same point, of course, the cars is becoming slower onto the apex. So yeah, it's, I think, very interesting to see 240, 212, and at the end. So what we need to check now is that the lap timing at the bridge of AREMBERG curve, because this is very interesting. Hop, we just up here. So here we have 1:15.77 for the GT2, and if we just look at the lap time in the 3 RS, yes, 1:15.97, 1:15.77. That's totally insane, because we have almost exactly the same between both cars, GT3 RS 520 horsepower and GT2 RS 700 horsepower. This is crazy because we have already one fast part, which is the Flugplatz till AREMBERG sector. And yeah, as you can see, it's almost the same. I mean, it's the same for both cars. Both cars, the same tires, again, the same braking system. So yeah, it's the same. Now we will just continue in the lap. We will go at MHULE sector, which is interesting because it's just before the big straight line of KESSELCHEN sector. So let's stop at the Yokohama indicator. Okay, I do the same on the GT2. So let's do it this way. Up. So what is the time with the GT2 at the same point? Okay, 2 minutes 43.17. We talk about the Sport Auto Lap. Huh? 2 minutes 44.64. The GT2 just is a little bit faster, I guess, because on the Vauxhall it's also a little bit more high speed, for the higher speed for the GT2. But again, it's really thin difference. It's yeah, a little bit more than 1 second, you know, so it's very light. It's very light. Again, GT2 it's 700 horsepower, so of course it's different. But now what is very interesting is the following sector. This is where the GT2 has the fast pass, you know. It's also for myself where I have the biggest pleasure in the car, including the DOETINGER, the big straight line with Tiergarten, okay, because you can really feel the downforce and the speed of the car into the GT2. So let's say, okay, now we just continue to the KLOSTERTAL, KESSELCHEN KLOSTERTAL sector. So we'll see. So here we have a maximum speed, yeah, 250 kilometers into the 3 RS. We go KLOSTERTAL, the right-hander, and we are arriving to the next curve. We will stop at the curb. Whoops. Yes, let's say like this. Okay. And into the GT2 RS. What we have in here, we have big speed here. We have again 270, 280, 284. Need to brakes, mode curve, the KLOSTERTAL right-hander, and we are almost at the same point. The right after the orange indication. Yes, that's good. So here 3 minutes 42.87 for the GT2 RS, 3 minutes 46.97. This just in the KESSELCHEN sector, we just save around, yeah, let's say around almost 4 seconds just into this sector, which is very huge. And this because the speed. Imagine you are on track day or twist and fun into the GT2 RS on front, and you have some traffic. Of course, the GT3 RS and the GT2 RS are at the same point. You know, if the GT3 RS can just manage the traffic and the GT2 RS not, both cars just fire at the same point. So this we will talk of it later, but again, this is the first sector where you can feel the big difference. Okay, now we will check again the biggest difference, which is of course in favor of the GT2 after the DOETINGER straight line. So if we look at the last parts with the GT3 RS, of course with the extra downforce it's difficult to pass the 200 65, 70, I suppose. Yes, 64, 65. Maybe we have a little bit more speed on Tiergarten, but let's say at the bridge, from the bridge to country, we can have took. We are 268 kilometers, 6 minutes 30.43 seconds. Now the GT2 just is back, really back into the game. 307, 308, full power, 309, 622.07, 6 minutes 30.43. Okay, let's say more than 8 seconds now after the straight line. What that mean? It's the big difference is on the straight line and on KESSELCHEN sector in favor of the GT2. That means that, again, for the tourist driving in TF, GT3 RS and GT2 RS, it's same, you know, because the straight line make the difference, KESSELCHEN make the difference, but KESSELCHEN, if you have a bit of car into this sector, you can do nothing, you know, with the GT2. So it's just simple as that, you know. I just wanted to explain that both car is, we can see that of course the GT2 is faster, but the GT3, it's almost same fast, except on let's say 2-3 sector where the GT2 is the king, you know. I think it's both cars are just insane. I will give you my point of view for that, for both cars. I think it's the two best track tool you can buy for the Nurbugring. I mean, at every price range. I mean, if you say for the moment, it's the two best car. It's the two fastest car. It's the two not fastest car, but because yeah, you can find the AMG, etc. But it's the two best car in terms of pleasure, efficiency, everything. It's very strong, etc. Now, my opinion is the best choice is to get both. I think if you can reach both, it's of course it's the best way. If as me, you can only reach one for different reasons. Of course, it's a hard choice, but my opinion is if you only use the car on the Nordschleife, I mean only on the Nordschleife, I think the 3RS is the best choice, because it works at every point on, I mean, okay, you have also, we will talk after about the sound of both cars, but in terms of performance, only Nordschleife, I think the 3RS with the MR kit is maybe the best choice if you only do some Nordschleife use. Now, if you go also on other track, I mean, if you go on Silverstone, if you go on Monza, if you go on Paul Ricard, if you go on classic, if you use the car on classic GP track, the GT2 will be the weapon, because the 200 extra horsepower makes the difference. Of course, on the fast track, it's make a difference. It used to really make a difference, especially when you need to overtake some traffic, etc. It's very nice. And so, of course, for the Nordschleife, the GT2 is perfect. But if you use, for example, only or almost 90%, let's say 80% of tourist driving on the Nordschleife with the traffic, with the GT2 it's complicated, because it's challenging, because you need to find the right speed on the mid curve speed. You need to be careful about the power, because again 20, 30, even 40 kilometers faster than the 3RS at on different points. So yeah, it's very challenging. But I think if you just, as me, again, I really love both cars, but if you just as me use the car on, let's say, track day or tourist driving. For my case, I have the Cayman also, but if you use on track, on different track, and on the Nordschleife, I think GT2 is the right weapon, and you will have so much pleasure with the GT2 on track day condition, on Nordschleife track day condition, because the power, because the car, you can push, is no problem. It's, I mean, it's very powerful, and you have so much sensation on the two sector I told you. So the DOETINGER, especially also here with the GT2 RS on the Tiergarten sector, we reach almost 305, 310. We need to brake. You can feel the downforce. It's crazy. With the 3 RS, I think on Tiergarten, if I check again, I think the speed on this sector is a little bit slower, but 275 maybe, yeah. It's also very fast, but when you pass full throttle the bridge at more than 300 with the GT2, it's really something that the experience is phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. On the GT3 RS, you have the feeling that we need extra power, you know. But on the rest of the track, of course, it's perfectly enough. So yeah, again, I think both car is again the best. Conclusion is that if you use on different track, in a lot of different track around the world, especially F1 track, GT2 is the weapon of choice. If you use only on the Nord, I think 3 RS is the choice. Again, with the Mente Racing package on both cars, because yeah, it's just the perfect enough power. You have the aero, you have the perfect suspension, the car works perfect. Is also, I think you can use that car for, let's say, one level of driving skill, let's say medium average till expert for the GT3 RS. And if you want to extract the best from the GT2, you need one good level till expert, you know, because under that you will be scared of the car, I think, on the GT2. And with the GT3, it's really more easy to manage, because really less speed, lighter weight, etc. So yeah, again, finality, conclusion, both car exceptional, the best for the Nordschleife, the best on the track. Now it's just, let's say, also the sound, of course, the naturally aspirated flat six of the 3 RS is crazy, but when you experience also the sound from the GT2 from inside, it's also something that is crazy. But yeah, I know a few guys that just have both car. I think of Mike, I think of Baram. They are so lucky because they have the two best universe, you know. But yeah, let's say, yeah, GT2, GT3 RS, yeah, both are the best. Now, just need to make your choice, guy. My choice now is still the GT2, but yeah, whatever. We will see one day for different. Thanks for watching, and soon we will have some more fast video on the track. See you soon, guy.